Guys, if I ask you what you think is the most deadly or the most dangerous creature on this planet, what are you going to say?
A shark,
Shark.
A lion,
A lion. If I tell you it's a mosquito,
a
what do you going to say?
mosquito,
a mosquito,
It is a mosquito. Mosquito bites result in the deaths of more than 1 million people every year, and the World Health Organization estimates that a child dies from malaria every 30 seconds. Thriving in humid and damp areas, mosquitoes reproduce quickly. The females lay their eggs in water and water-holding containers. When the pupa changes into adults, they leave the water and become free-flying biting insects. And these biting pests can carry a number of diseases such as malaria, which causes fever, body aches, coma, and death. Yellow fever and dengue fever are transmitted from one person to another by the bite of an infected Aedes aegypti mosquito. The larvae of the heartworm, a parasite affecting household pets, are transmitted by mosquitoes. Untreated heartworms can lead to the deaths of dogs and other household pets. The Vector Control Unit in the Ministry of Health monitors and provides services that help to control the mosquito population and the diseases they transmit to the human population.
Principally, vector control is the control of factors within the environment that will prevent the breeding and proliferation of pests. And in Grenada, the pests that we are normally focus on are mosquitoes, rodents, mongoose, and dog control. Our responsibility is to control the factors in the environment that will proliferate any type of disease or disease condition or create any kind of discomfort to persons within our tri-island state. So we are more or less a controlling agency. We have surveillance team that go out in the communities, and what we try to identify places where we would find a breeding of mosquitoes. And what we have seen in Grenada, we have a high house index. We have a house index that is about 14%. And that simply means that for every 100 houses that we visit in Grenada, 14 are breeding mosquitoes, which is very high. And we try to aim for a threshold of 1%. And that 1%, that is our objective, to bring it down, reduce it to 1%. Because very rarely we can get rid of all the mosquitoes totally. And a house index of 1% would mean that there's less mosquitoes around. And as you are aware, Aedes aegypti is a mosquito that carry the dengue fever. And dengue is endemic in Grenada and in the region.
We would like the householders to be in control of the environment, right? There are other containers that they have scattered all over the place. We like them to make sure the environment is properly clean, right? Pick up the stuff we have. We have the solid waste fellas passing probably in some communities twice a week. They can carry those things to, and most times the truck passes right in front of the doors. So instead of scattering the containers around the house and what have you, put it in a little plastic bag and give it to the garbage truck, right?
The indiscriminate and illegal dumping of tires leads to serious problems. Tire dealers should ensure that all the tires are properly disposed of. Keeping tires for more than 8 days will allow the mosquito to develop into the adult stage, which is the most difficult stage to control because the mosquito by this stage is a free-flying mobile insect. Therefore, tires should be disposed of within 5 days. Tires should be brought to the landfill where they will be shredded. Get rid of tin cans, old buckets, and all unnecessary containers that collect water. If you have to keep them, then store them in a dry area or keep them covered. Turn down all water-holding containers if you're not using them. If you're using containers for collecting water, make sure that they are covered at all times and ensure that the covers on these containers do not become breeding sites for mosquitoes. Do not allow water to accumulate in saucers or flower pots, cemetery urns, or in pet dishes for more than 2 days. Change water in bird baths and household containers at least twice a week. Wash containers thoroughly and the roots of household plants in order to dislodge mosquito eggs. Dispose of all plastic and galvanized sheetings or other refuge that can hold water. Empty accumulated water from trash cans, wheelbarrows, pet dishes, and flower pot bottoms. If possible, turn these items over when they are not in use. Check for leaking faucets and air conditioning units that may cause water puddles. Keep swimming pools cleaned and chlorinated. Ornamented pools can be aerated or stocked with mosquito-eating fish. Aeration water movement helps because mosquitoes prefer quiet, non-flowing water for egg laying and development. Holes in tree trunks or soil depression made by fallen trees can accumulate water and become a major breeding site for mosquitoes. Therefore, you need to fill or drain ditches and swampy areas around your homes. Eliminate standing water and seepage around animal water troughs and cisterns. Irrigate lawns and gardens carefully to prevent water from standing for several days. Check rain gutters and dung pipes to ensure that they are not clogged with leaves and debris, which can prevent the flow of water and create an ideal place for mosquito breeding because mosquitoes need water to grow into adults. Concrete roofs should also be monitored to ensure that they don't become breeding sites for mosquitoes. Boats that are left unattended in the open can become breeding sites for mosquitoes. Boat owners should therefore ensure that their boats do not become breeding sites.
Maybe this boat is not being used by the owners. So if you notice carefully, it is holding a lot of water. A lot of water is lodging here. And this is a breeding site for any mosquito at all, right? Whether it's Egypti or Culex or whatever it is, there's a breeding site here. But what we are trying to do is to get the householders to get rid of this boat. They can cover it, like you will see on the other side over there. Because they are not using it, we are trying to advocate that they get covering and put over it so that it would not hold any water and breed. Yeah, all the boat owners, right? We try to get them to take off the stopper so the water could run out and to get the covering and put over it so that no water would be able to settle there and breed any mosquitoes.
We pay major emphasis to the design and construction of our homes, but oftentimes that same attention is not given to the construction of our septic tanks. Poorly constructed septic tanks are a major source of mosquito breeding. Septic tanks must be covered and sealed properly. Over time, due to weathering, cracks may occur. Therefore, you should check your septic tanks from time to time to ensure that they are always properly sealed and doesn't become a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
What we have seen here is a poorly constructed sewage system where there isn't any suckaway. And what is happening there, the mosquito can easily enter the tank and breed there and create a big mosquito problem. So what needs to happen is the person needs to have a proper suckaway done so that the effluent can enter the suckaway so that the mosquitoes will not be able to enter the tank. That's what needs to be done.
Once you have a mosquito problem, check out your surroundings. It means that the mosquito breeding source is near your home. It is almost impossible to get rid of mosquitoes entirely. However, we can all play our part in controlling the mosquito population. Mosquito control is not solely the responsibility of the Ministry of Health, but it's also the responsibility of every member of the community.